If you're serious about achieving your goals, there is something crucial you should understand about human behavior. Most people are psychologically invested in the familiar. They like things that make sense to them and they like things that follow recognizable patterns. So they unconsciously reward predictability and punish deviation. This is important to understand because the moment you start doing something unusual or bold, your environment will respond with subtle resistance. You may hear things like, "Are you sure about that? That seems risky," or "why not just do the normal thing?" Now notice something interesting. These questions don't sound hostile. They sound responsible and reasonable. In fact, they sound like concern, and that is exactly why they are so persuasive. Concern carries emotional weight. It feels wise, it feels protective, it feels like someone is trying to help you. But concern can also function like gravity. It pulls you back towards the average path. If your decisions depend on approval, you will naturally choose the options that create the least resistance, the choices that make everyone comfortable. The problem is that the safest path socially is rarely the path that produces extraordinary results. And this is where something called self-authority becomes incredibly important. Self-authority means that you recognize yourself as the final decision maker in your life. You can listen to advice, you can study experts, and you can consider other perspectives. But after considering everything, the final judgment still comes from you. The reason this matters is because most people are not actually making decisions this way. Instead, there is a hidden question that is guiding their choices, which is, what will people think about this? Once that question enters the picture, people begin worrying about how their decision will look. They start wondering whether others will approve, and they imagine being judged if things do not work out. And only after all those social calculations do they finally ask the most important question, which is this actually the right direction for me? Self-authority reverses that order. Instead of starting with social approval, you start with internal alignment. You ask yourself questions like, does this reflect what I actually believe? Does this move my life forward? Can I take responsibility for the outcome? Other people's opinions can still be useful, but they become information rather than permission. Without realizing it, many people live inside what you could call the invisible cage of the familiar. Society rewards stability and predictability. People feel comfortable when others follow recognizable paths. So the moment someone starts stepping outside those patterns, uncertainty enters the room. Uncertainty makes people feel uncomfortable. So the environment naturally tries to pull things back to what's known and familiar.